What do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? Eight of Wands, Sag energy at the foundation of the reading. Okay, so one of the messages that I got leading up to this reading is that there's an old friend, a family member, even an ex or somebody who's really been hating on your growth. There's been some sort of expansion taking place in your life. Even if it's just small at the moment, there's something there that is significant enough to get people talking. You're doing something different is what it all comes down to. It's like you've shifted direction. And I feel that there's some sort of energy here that feels threatened by this. Now, the Eight of Wands here is speaking about this massive change that is unfolding in your life. And it's becoming noticeable. There's something different about you. Whether or not these people are in your life, somehow they have access to information on you. And that's pretty easy to access these days because of social media. So maybe they're seeing something. Maybe they just feel something intuitively about you. Okay, and I just heard some of them have even had dreams about you. It's like Spirit is showing them all of the goodness that is preparing to come into your life. And this is a perfect example of Psalm 23:5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. So there's something here that Spirit, the divine, God, wants your enemies to see. And I feel that they're starting to realize this now. It's one of these situations where we're seeing prophecy play out in your life. This can be terrifying for people who have made things more difficult for you because they're starting to see that you're being guided, that you're protected, that there is some sort of higher calling over your life. Even if that may not be completely obvious yet to you, it's just telling us that you're on the path. There is a reason for all of these sayings that have stood the test of time. It's because you can access these sorts of energies and implement them on your path. And again, become the literal walking, talking prophecy of what it means to fulfill your destiny. I also feel that you may have somebody that you have turned your back on trying to re-enter your life. There is somebody behind the scenes, I feel, that is devising some sort of plan. They're looking at the way that everything is unfolding around your life, and in their mind, they think that they can stop something here. It's as if this energy that you have turned your back on because of some sort of pain that they may have put you through. Oh, I just heard cheating for some of you. Okay, so that could obviously be an ex, maybe a cheating ex trying to come back from the past. A very deceptive person, an individual that used a lot of mind games. I just heard love bomber as well. Okay, they're starting to give me a whole load of messages surrounding an individual that came into your life by love bombing you, then implementing some sort of mind games, and then doing something deceptive behind the scenes that caused a lot of pain in your life, which was probably directly connected to some sort of cheating. This person moved on with their life. They probably moved on with somebody else. And now here they are years later when you're finally on the upswing and they're on the downswing, wanting to come into your life and be able to reap the fruits from all of the hard work that you have put in when they weren't there to support you. And that last part of that message can definitely speak about a family member or a friend. What do we have at the sacral, please, Spirit? Too many cards. Wow. 9 of Swords, Gemini energy at the sacral. I feel that things have really shifted in this person's life. I also feel that when the two of you went your separate ways, it almost seemed like the universe was opening up doors for them, but this was a test. It's like the universe wanted to see. I just got a ringing in my ear as well when I said that this was a test, okay? So it's like the universe wanted to see how they would handle certain things, right? Maybe success, maybe what seemed like a really good partner for them, or just some level of stability coming into their life. And I feel that it all slipped through their fingers because they were careless with it. It's like somebody who becomes super egotistical, really arrogant, almost mean, right? It's like somebody who hasn't had a whole lot of luck in their life, and then they get it, and it changes them for the worst. They're not humble. They're not grateful. And it's also one of these situations where you kind of look at the person and go, was this the goal? This is the person that you actually always wanted to be? This is your end game? You may have spent several years wondering why things weren't really moving for you, and yet this person was getting a chance. But I also pick up a very humble energy from you, opposite from who they are. Despite the way they may have treated you, I think in the end, you really just wished them well because you understood that there was no point wishing them bad. right? Well, as long as you're happy, go be happy. But now what you're starting to see is a massive shift. And I feel that this shift has everything to do with your attitude about all of this. Wishing them well, even though they didn't deserve it, I feel is what changed everything. You weren't hateful, or you grew out of it. It really speaks about a certain level of work you've done on yourself as well. When you can get to that point, it says a lot about you, because it tells us that you've done a lot of inner work. So now you're going to be rewarded for that. And this individual is going to bear witness to it and be tormented by their treatment of you and probably several other people. 9 of Swords at the sacral. I just heard very clearly, they only tried to love me and I threw them away. So that's their own inner dialogue speaking to them, right? There's a lot of guilt here that I'm feeling from this person, a lot of shame as well. I mean, let's face it, it's not a good look when doors begin to open up for you and you're afforded opportunities that other people aren't, and you blow it because you become arrogant or think that you're better than other people, right? It's like somebody who's on their high horse. And we have 8 and 9 on the table, right? So here you are moving forward, and here they are in this 9 of Swords energy. A complete shift in the energy. It's like they're feeling how you felt now. And the universe is moving you to the front of the line, giving you opportunities now because you truly deserve it. And you're not going to mess this up. You're going to be able to hold on to these things. You're not going to lose these things. And it's going to be a huge learning lesson for this person. Unfortunately, for them, they probably won't get another opportunity to get the level of success that they had access to before. It just doesn't work like that. Sure, people can lose success and regain it again, but this is different. They lost this success because of their treatment towards other people. Nobody trusts them anymore. Nobody wants to work with them anymore. Everybody can see through them. There's something very inauthentic about this person as well. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Ace of Wands. Fire energy at the solar plexus. I feel that a lot of you are getting ready to step into some sort of timeline where a vision, some sort of creative idea that you have had is preparing to come to full manifestation. This is something that a lot of you were talking about, or maybe in the early stages of putting together, quite possibly when this person was around. But it's like you haven't given up on this. Sure, you went through many ups and downs, and you often wondered if you should be doing this at all. But even when you may have put it down for a short period of time, you picked it back up. And this Ace of Wands is right there at that solar plexus position. There's a very clear message here where you are about to see the magic of the universe, because this particular thing, when it begins to materialize, it feels like a miracle. You feel like you're living a dream, like, oh my God, it's actually happening now. And it forces you to think about the finer details of your life, what's changed, how you move different. And I feel that there's a lot there that is made very obvious to you. The people who may no longer be in your life obviously have a big influence. You're also moving different. You have a much closer relationship with Source, with the universe. And most of all, you've done a ton of work on yourself. And there's something to be said about that. It's all of these things, when you think about them, all sort of compounded together, you start to see that there's some sort of divine plan unfolding in your life. It wasn't that this thing was never for you. It's that the divine needed you to access it in a specific way so you didn't lose it. I'm also hearing that you're not only going to feel like your path is beginning to clear in regards to this particular project or idea or this vision that you have, but there's also going to be some sort of support that begins to come into your life to help you access certain tools to help make this a reality. It's like Spirit just aligns you to be able to gather up resources, maybe in areas where you weren't able to do it before. There's still a lot of work here that needs to be done. It's not just going to fall out of the sky into your lap. This is just a message here that when you start to move in this direction again, you will feel the support. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow, perfect. 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the heart. And there it is. What a card to follow what I just said. Look, you're working away, right? Right there at the heart chakra. So true heart's desire, some sort of vision. It's like now there's progress. It's also one of these energies where you're engaging with this thing and you're getting movement and it's mind blowing. You're like, I can't believe I'm actually working on this thing and it's actually happening now. This has been years, for some even decades. It's in this moment that you truly start to see that every step that has led you to that very moment was absolutely necessary. You had to go down all those winding roads. You had to hit those dead ends. You had to hit those blocks. You had to think that there was no way forward, because look where all of that has gotten you to now. I also just heard that you're the one that's making this happen. The universe is here just supporting you, like they always have. And it's not that you weren't able to access this for anything that you were doing wrong way back when. It was that your trajectory had to see you take this winding road because of the level of abundance that this particular thing is going to provide for you in your life. It's also one of these things where when you look back on your path up until that moment, you start to see that all of the things, all of the events had to unfold in that particular order because they provided you with little pieces to get you to where you are. And I picked up a similar message in the members reading that I just put out a few days ago. It's like Spirit may send you down a road that seemingly leads you further away from something, only to realize that there's a detour down the end of that road that takes you across some rickety bridge, down another winding road for a couple of years, because you had to gather up some sort of experience, some sort of wisdom. Seeing the Emperor in my mind's eye right now. Now, the Emperor is the Emperor because he has gone through all of this. He understands this, that to achieve a certain level of greatness, you have to endure some very harsh environments, physically, mentally, and spiritually. The Emperor is the Emperor because he is a complete master. And this is what I'm getting here for you. This is the path that you are on, male or female. I'm also hearing something about not comparing yourself to other people, okay? Now, this is something that's very common in the world we live in because of social media and people sort of presenting themselves in a particular way, but really behind the scenes, it's not like that at all. Just be mindful of this, all right? The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person that you were yesterday, last month, last year. That's it. If you can just focus on being a little bit better than you were at those different points in time, you will get to where you're going to. Your success is in no way, shape, or form influenced by anybody else's success. You are not in a race with anybody else, and you're not better or worse than anybody else. You are just you, and you are on your own unique path. Become proud of that. Be grateful for that, and learn to be grateful for all of the trials and tribulations that you're going through, because it means that the divine is actually working with you to get you to a certain space in your life. And I know that that can be very hard to admit, especially when you're going through a difficult time. But if you can try and just really program your mind to think this way and try and laugh a bit more, come from the perspective of, all right, universe, well, I don't know what you're doing here. This is becoming unbearable, but I'm going to trust, I'm going to have faith that all of this is leading me to something much better. So do with me what you need to. If you can really begin to become that person, you will clear the path for miracles to come into your life, which miracles are something that you trigger in your own life by surrendering to what is taking place in your life. So rather than fighting the changes, rather than shaking your fists at the skies, rather than thinking that everything is happening to you as opposed to for you and just letting it all happen, just lay back and enjoy the ride, because it's not going to last forever. And that right there is what triggers miracles to come into your life, which tells us that the miracle lies inside of you. It's not an outside force. It's just something that you access through complete surrender. And right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. Okay, so this follows what I just said perfectly, because the Queen of Wands is an energy of self-mastery, right? And so everything I just mentioned is a form of self-mastery. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Nine of Swords again. Look at this. 8-9, Ace of Wands, 8-9. Unbelievable. It's like here you are, you're moving quickly towards this Ace of Wands, right? This new beginning. This person's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're winning. Now I'm on the bottom of the wheel. And look, here's all their demons, right? I just heard an egregor, right? So an egregor is a kind of entity that arises from a certain intention. So simply put, this person putting all of this hatred and just negativity out into the world, it's like they birthed an entity. And now this entity is coming home like, hello, mommy. Hello, daddy. Why won't you love me? The demons are coming home to roost. And they're hungry. And then we've got this Eight of Pentacles here. Right after this Ace of Wands, right, this new beginning. So now here you are engaging with this thing. And now this person has gone from this Nine of Swords, right? Just completely laid out now. It's almost like they're paralyzed. I'm also hearing that this right here, these 5 cards are a perfect example of why it's important to focus on the path forward rather than focus on what other people put you through, right? By focusing on yourself and your path despite what you've gone through is what allows the wheels to turn in your favor. It's what allows the scales to tip in your favor, which in turn is what forces these people to face the karmic consequences of their actions. You know, this Nine of Swords is right here at the throat as well. And I was just speaking about an egregor, right? And this is very clear. So, throat chakra, communication. I feel that this person was saying things about you. Yeah, I just heard they were trying to tarnish your name. This person did this without even thinking twice. I just heard Spirit was watching them the whole time, observing them. They didn't even feel bad. There's something truly broken inside of this person. Okay, I just heard that they have zero empathy. That's why. So now what they're going through, it's like Spirit is trying to force them to have empathy by replaying what they have put you through. It makes perfect sense. They're being put in a position now, karmically, to feel what you felt. But of course, it's going to be increased, right? There's interest on top of that. So they're feeling an extreme version of what you went through. Yeah, I just heard this is the only way forward for this person because they're truly wicked. Their ego needs to be completely broken down. A lot of these people are literally bedridden. Also hearing if this is family for some of you, you know, maybe elderly people, they're not doing too good. It's like here they are getting on in life and they should be enjoying themselves. But instead, they're suffering with the karmic consequences of their treatment towards others. That's how they're spending these years. You know, what I mentioned about an egregor, right? So again, speaking on your name. So that's a form of witchcraft, black magic, word witchery. Because when you are trying to influence other people's opinions, let's say on you, and it's not true, you are doing a certain kind of magic. They're tarnishing the public perception around you and your life, and it's based on lies. So again, this is literally them being faced with this right now. Right here they are. I can't believe I said that. Why did I say that? Why am I so wicked? Right? It's almost like they're... I mean, this to me looks like something out of Exorcist, right? The only thing missing is they're not floating off the bed. You know, this is a kind of possession. This is what possession truly is in the real world. People who act like this towards other people. They're possessed with this kind of spirit. And so here you are in their world, right? Essentially a kind of savior in their life. They probably don't see it like that yet, but you were placed on this person's path to essentially save them. It's like you're exorcising this person's demons merely by living your best life. Think about that. You're just out here like, tra-la-la-la-la. I can't believe this is actually coming to pass. This is crazy. Miracles every day of my life. And then here they are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why did I act that way? And again, right on the bottom of the deck, the sun, right? So this is the energy you're in. Tra-la-la-la-la, right? Here you are again, 8 of Pentacles, twice now, there and there, 2 different decks, working away. And then here they are, 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Some of the harshest energies. It's like this is them out in the cold, but it's more of a feeling, right? What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Boom. I knew he was going to come out. We spoke him into existence. The Emperor. There you are, right? So we're not just saying that to say it. It's a fact. This is the trajectory you are on. You know, this is the kind of person who they get success in their life and they treat people like peasants, right? Instead of maybe giving people a leg up or being kind. When in reality, they're the loser. You're the emperor. And the only thing that makes them a loser is their treatment towards other people. Nothing else. It has nothing to do with their economic standing or the amount of success in their life. I'm also hearing something here about keeping your successes to yourself. You know, some of you may have been driven to succeed in a certain area or another so you can show them, right? Which that's totally normal. Because when people don't believe in you or when people treat you a certain way, you just want to show them that you have what it takes, right? But eventually you get to a point when you start to have that success where you don't care anymore. You're past that because you've done that inner work, and that inner work tells you that that's not necessary because their opinion no longer matters to you. So just try and remember that. Be humble, remain grounded, and be grateful. There's no reason that you need to put anything in anybody's faces. The universe, as we mentioned, by preparing a table for you, right, is already taking care of that. But they do it in a different way. It's done in a very genius way because they're using your success as a lesson for these people. It's not being used to show people up. And then right on the bottom of the deck, the Ace of Swords. So this Ace of Swords is really confirming what I just said, okay, because this is an energy of victory, mental clarity, thinking clearly, right? Just very focused on the path ahead, not focused on all of these trials and tribulations that you have gone through and seeking revenge or wanting to show people up. I'm telling you right now, you got to get out of that headspace if you're in that headspace. Never seek revenge. You're only holding yourself back. There are artistic ways to express yourself where you can put your pain and hurt and some of the things you've gone through into life lessons for yourself and other people, but directly attacking people needs to be handled by the divine. Your job is essentially done here. Go enjoy your life now. Go be great. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? 4 of Wands, Aries energy at the crown. Further confirmation. There's a lot of celebration here. I'm also hearing for some of you, this is a season where you're going to be positioned to lay down roots, whatever that means for you. For some of you, it could literally have something to do with a partnership, a marriage, some sort of home life. There's many things the 4 of Wands can represent, but in a general sense, it's just telling us that's where you're at now. You're being positioned to be able to access the things that align for you with that energy. Okay, so the vision that you have regarding this Ace of Wands is all coming to pass. Here you are, sitting in your throne as the emperor, and now here you are outside your kingdom, right? And look, there you are, you're waving, right? And then here they are like, oh my God. Yeah, I just heard they never expected this. I'm also hearing that this person, these people, whoever they are to you, friends, family, exes, old coworkers or bosses. They've done this to a lot of people, but it ends with you. And they know that too. I just heard some of these people are scared of you and who you truly are in their life. It's one of these situations where you go through all you have gone through, and the people that made things worse for you are starting to watch you come out the other side. You've had a glow up, you're having success, everything is looking good. And a part of them is seeing the divine working in your life, and they can't help but think, what if the universe was working through them the entire time and the universe has been observing me through them? It's like that's what they're thinking about right now. And that's good. This is exactly what these people need. You are an instrument of awakening, and you're also a perfect example of how the universe actually works. You're a part of the mechanics of all of that. And there's very much two sides to that. It's like these people are being forced to change, Knight of Swords, and here you are co-creating with the divine. I just heard, this is only the beginning. You know, when you are truly in partnership with the divine, it cannot be denied. You feel it. There's never a lack because there's an overflow of ideas. You never have a lack of things that the divine is trying to have you create, right? Different ideas, just your mind is constantly working. That's what it really feels like when you are an instrument of the universe. The universe is focusing all of this energy and power into you, all of these ideas into you. It's like you are directly connected to the ether, right? It's like there's all these ideas just floating around, and then you start aligning in your everyday waking life based on the way you're moving, and the universe says, boom, them. And all of a sudden, you have this access point to the ethers, and you're just flooded with ideas and greatness, abundance. There's no end to anything. That's what it truly feels like when a higher power is working in your life. Fear begins to melt away because you understand that no matter where your path may lead you, Source is with you. And as long as you remain true to you and committed to Source and the divine, that access point will always be there. That's what these people got. They had a little access point open up for them, just as a little tester, right? Because it was all a part of what was going to unfold in your life. They needed to feel the greatness and then have it taken away from them. And the only reason, again, why it was taken away from them is because of how they treated the world around them and the gifts that the divine gave them access to. What do we have at the foundation, please, Spirit? Temperance. Sag energy at the foundation of the reading. Now, the Temperance card from this deck speaks about some sort of disruptive energies external to you that were affecting your long-term vision. This goes back to what we were saying towards the beginning of the reading about this particular idea, right? And it feeling difficult to bring this thing to full realization. This is representing all the real-world circumstances that we all are faced with. All the things that get in our way to make us feel like, well, I guess that's just not for me then, right? But what you have come to learn is how to navigate that space. Be more mindful about where you put your energy, who you allow into your life, the relationship you keep with yourself, the energies you just entertain as a whole. And it's that understanding which is now creating this movement. I'm also hearing something about discernment. So we concluded that this person here is incredibly wicked. They lack empathy, right? But they were able to love bomb you or use mind games on you to get control over your emotions, over your mind. Almost go as far as saying that if you can take control of somebody's emotions, you can take control of their mind, and vice versa, really. And this is definitely what this feels like, because you were probably vulnerable to them, or, if this was a friend or a family member, maybe you just felt like you could trust them. But what I feel the message here is that you need to watch out for people that love bomb you or try to pump you up, right? Excessively. This is always a big red flag, but it actually says more about you than them. Because if you have, let's say, somebody enter into your life and they're trying to connect with you romantically and they're love bombing you, just really pumping you up and stuff, it can really speak about the need to do some sort of inner work, because there needs to be a breaking down of your own ego there, right? It's like a lot of the times these people will come into our life and start pumping up our ego to make us feel like we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. But if you've done the work, these tactics won't work on you. You'll see right through it. But if I was really going to give this to you as simple as possible, it would be that you need to recognize these sorts of love bombing tactics from the get-go and don't allow them to trigger the unhealed parts of your own ego, because a fully balanced, healed individual won't fall for this kind of stuff because they're not in a deficit, right? These sorts of people look at you and they realize that maybe there's a deficit there, energetically speaking, and they'll try to fill it with these sorts of tactics. Now, that was a bit long-winded, but I feel that we got the point across. 8 of Swords, right underneath that 9 of Swords at the sacral. Gemini energy. So Sag stacked with Sag, Gemini stacked with Gemini. Now, this 8 of Swords here is putting further emphasis on this person being fully trapped inside their little head, right? With their own personal egregor, right? Yeah, I'm hearing that, well, I just got a tickle in my left ear, and right as I got the tickle, I was hearing that these voices are repeating like a broken record. Won't leave them alone. Yeah, I'm hearing this person is waking up in cold sweats. It's like waking up with a sense of the trauma that they put you through, right? This is what it feels like when you're being impacted by the spiritual consequences of your actions. But the level by which these people are going through this is very extreme, which also speaks about the level of success and greatness that you have access to, right? The lower they feel, the higher you go. And again, this isn't something that I'm encouraging any of you to be happy about. Just know that, right? Just is what it is. If anything, it's sad that it had to get to this point. You know, I'm also hearing that these people have a lot of things racing around in their minds about how they could have better handled things with you. Yeah, I'm hearing, I didn't have to do that. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have helped them. I could have been kinder. That's where they're at now. But I'm also hearing that even though they're going through a collection of thoughts and different emotions based on their treatment towards you, it hasn't become something that they truly regret yet, right? Which just speaks about the amount of work that they need to do. You know, the 9 of Swords stacked with the 8 of Swords is really just representing their own slice of hell that they have to remain in until they've learned their lesson. You know, this is one of these situations where hell is not something they have to wait for. It's right here, right now, and it's accessed by the way they've been moving. You know, I've spoken about this before. Heaven and hell is something you can access in any given moment based on the way you are moving. It's a vibration. What do we have at the solar plexus? Queen of Swords. That 9 and 8 of Swords at that sacral position is telling me that they're also being consumed with visions of your success. The sacral is where you house your passion and creativity. That's the fire in your belly. Queen of Swords at this solar plexus position, right underneath that Ace of Wands. Now, the Queen of Swords air energy from this deck is my pathological liar in the tarot. This is somebody who acts like something they're not, right? So we spoke about this person being given access to a certain kind of success, right? And it's like here they are thinking they're better than everybody else, right? They're a donkey, but they're holding up peacock feathers, right? They're just pretending to be something they're not. Yeah, you know what? This is a funny example they're giving me. It's like when you see, little kids playing boss and secretary, right? It's like one of them is maybe wearing their mother's massive high heels and putting their mother's makeup on and dressing up like a secretary. And then one of them is dressing up like a boss, right? But they're babies. Baby boss, right? So exactly. But they're pretending to be grown up, right? When they're playing. That's exactly what I'm getting from this person. It's like this person is like a toddler pretending to be a grown up. That's the vibe they put off. And it goes back to what I said about, wow, that's how you have always been thinking about handling this kind of success. It's weird. It just doesn't fit who you thought that they were. You know, maybe there was a point in time when you were still on good terms with this person and you always thought of them as being a kind and giving individual. Maybe you would have expected that they'd be the kind of person to help other people, to do good with their success. But instead, they just decided they were going to step on as many skulls as possible and climb all the way to the top just so they can act like they're better than everybody else. It's just really weird. And then we have Baphomet right on the bottom of the deck. So the Baphomet card from this particular deck aligns with the Magician in its shadow. So this is one of these situations where the devil was observing them the entire time, right? It's like the devil watched them get an opportunity and then came through and tempted them. When they could have just been happy with what they had, they wanted more, right? More, more, more. Greed. It's never enough. And that's the thing with these kinds of people. It never actually is enough. They get success and it's not enough, which is a direct reason why they're in this energy now. Because there's something broken inside of them that needs healing. It's like you've done the work. And this is why this is happening for you now. They didn't do the work and they lost it. And that says so much. Doesn't matter how much success you get in your life. If you're truly a broken individual on the inside and you go around treating people like this, it's not going to last long. And you're going to end up losing way more than you gained for those fleeting moments of success. You know, they're a perfect example of an individual who will now be defined by the things that they used to be. Oh yeah, I was really successful once, right? That's this person. It's like this person romanticizes with having had it all and losing it. Yeah, I used to be famous, you know, I lost it all. They think that's cool or that's relatable. What do we have of the heart, please? Whew. Again, 8 of Swords. Look at that. And it's right underneath your 8 of Pentacles. All these 8. So 8, 8, 8. Okay, so... and 8 there as well. So 1, 2, so 4 8s. Am I missing any? No. You know, 8 is all about transformation, but it's going 2 directions in this reading. You're up, they're down. And then here's the egregor again. Look, same card, different deck, right? There it is. Hello, Mommy. Hello, Daddy. I've come home. Don't you love me? That's their little pet egregor that they created. It wants to cuddle with them, whisper sweet nothings into their ear that sound a whole lot like the wickedness that they have put out into the world. It's like this little egregor is saying to them, oh, Mommy, Daddy, look how great they are now. Remember when you said this to them? Remember when you told them that they were a big loser? Yeah, those were the times, huh? And it says right here, disregarding rules, right? That's the devil whispering in their ear, saying to them, you wanted to do it your way, so we let you do it your way. But now you owe me. Now you're indebted to me, and there's interest. 15 years of pain and suffering for you, for what you did to the chosen one. You thought that you were the boss. You thought that you were mightier than me, the devil. You thought that you were mightier than the Most High, the Creator himself. Disregarded all the rules. And I'm happy you did, because now I get to feed off of your pain and suffering. Then we have 4 of Swords, Libra energy. So here you are, right? Everything's changed. You've come a long way, right? See how you're sitting there just kind of contemplating? It says their mission, right? You're thinking about all of this. Yeah, I just heard you say it didn't have to be this way, right? that just, again, says so much about you. Some of you may be in a time in your life, or you're preparing to be, where you wish you could share it with the very people who tried to get in the way from making this happen. And some of you are still having a hard time even accepting that they did this to you. It's like you're fantasizing or having conversations in your own mind with people who are no longer in your life. But the conversations you're having with them are as if nothing ever happened, right? You're just talking to them about your success, like you could call them up right now. Because in a perfect world, none of this would have ever happened. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Knight of Wands, fire energy at the throat. This Nine of Swords stacked with this Knight of Wands is clearly telling me that everything that these people said about you is now being proven to all be lies, and you don't even need to do anything. People just can see the way you're moving now. The abundance that is all around you. You have this shield on you. It's like the divine took everything that they were saying to you and transmuted it into this layer of protection and allowed you to grow wings and become the greatest you that you have ever been. In other words, it's like the universe saying, okay, you want to say that about them? Then we're going to make their success very loud. We're going to show people how much of a bold-faced, lying hater you actually are. And again, here they are. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. What are people going to think about me, right? See, they're more concerned with what people will think about them. This is what this is all about, which is ironic when you consider how badly they treat people. What do we have at the third eye, please? 10 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the third eye, right underneath that Emperor. Wow, what an energy. And further confirmation around what I said. Look what it says. Inner and outer work. Helps one keep their job, protects against disasters, the honorable God. Now, the 10 of Pentacles here is the wealthiest card in the tarot. Okay, so here you are, 8 of Pentacles, working towards it, right? And now you get it. Right underneath this Emperor. The 10 of Pentacles represents your divine inheritance and your legacy. You go from what they called a peasant or a loser to the Emperor and 10 of Pentacles. This is like kingdom energy, metaphorically speaking, okay? In the tarot, it doesn't have to be you're going to have a whole kingdom and, treasure chests full of gold. It's more your vision of what true abundance is for you, right? For some of you, it's having a farm out in the middle of the country with some animals and a little family. Whatever it is, that's this, okay? It's like you get everything you want because you deserve it. It's like these people didn't need to do all that. Okay, what do we have at the crown to close this out? And look who decided to leave the party. The devil. Samael, the severity of God. Seduction and downfall. Communicates with the dead, teaches the occult and magic. Unbelievable. Should have known. I was mentioning earlier on in the reading about you exorcising these people's demons, right? And what I'm getting here with this devil at the very end, it's like this karma that they're going through, which is very intense, is breaking them spiritually. It is exorcising demons from them. And after a while, that possession that they have inside of them, it leaves them. It leaves them like an empty vessel. It shuffles off out of their life and leaves them used up and just completely depleted. What I'm getting here as well with this Nine of Swords, which goes along with this message, it's one of these situations where these people age by like 10, 20 years for some of them. But it's because of this energy, right, that they were housing inside of them. Your success has exorcised their demons. These people wanted to play with the dark side, even though they were already afforded an opportunity by the divine. They got caught up. They wanted to be the top dog. They wanted to be the king of the world, right? But really, they're just a little kid playing baby boss in their mother's makeup. But in closing, just know that you were an angel in this person's life. You really were. You were the last good thing that they got to experience that was real. Everything that came after you was a byproduct of their own ego and their delusions of grandeur. So keep going. There's a lot of greatness here for you. And I hope that this message can help encourage all of you that are just now starting out on this path to push harder, because something is here for you. And the universe is about to shift things in your favor to help make this a reality. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And there's a glitch in the YouTube app right now. So if you're trying to press like on the video and it's not allowing you to like the video, do me a favor and just drop a heart or a comment, and that will work just the same, okay? But whatever the case, I would like to extend my gratitude for all of your donations and support on my channel, your personal reading bookings, the purchases that you have all made at my online store, and also thank you to everybody who's joined the membership side of my channel. But in closing, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you, so let me know in the comment section down below, again by dropping a heart and or a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.